Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be discussing the various tests that you might want to get done or you may need to get done during the menopause. Now, I'm often asked about these. Do I need to go and see the doctor? Are there any tests that I should be getting? Now, I have mentioned a number of tests in passing over the last couple of years, but I thought today I would just go through them all in a little bit more detail and have everything under one roof, so to speak. Now, one of the main questions I get asked is, can I have a test to see whether I'm in the menopause or not? Now, in theory you can go and ask your doctor for a blood test. The problem with blood tests is that they depend on your hormone level on the day that you're getting the test done. So if you're still getting periods, even if they're not regular, even if you're only getting them maybe once every couple of months, even if they're very light, even if some of them are missing or they're very, very short, that still indicates that you're having some kind of hormonal cycle, which means that your hormones will be higher at some days than others. So if you go and get a test done when your hormone levels are reasonably high, the test is going to come back negative, and you could be sitting there going, but everything else fits. I'm getting the hot flushes, I'm getting the fatigue, my periods are tailing off. How come I'm not in the menopause? So that is the main reason why. Now, you have a couple of options here. You can wait maybe 6 months to see if your periods are tailing off a little bit more and maybe go and ask for a repeat test. You can also get a saliva test, which sometimes is supposed to be a bit more accurate, but they're not normally offered here in the UK purely because they're a lot more expensive. But you could certainly try if you're really desperate to know whether you're going through the menopause or not. In our kind of understanding, if you are within the average age group, that's 45 to 55, if your periods are changing, if you're getting other menopausal symptoms, then it's more than likely that you are on your way. But there are other circumstances where you can get menopause-like symptoms that can be caused by other things, and I'm going to go through those now. So the first sort of complication, if you like, in the menopause is the possibility of having thyroid problems. We know this is very common. We have a huge number of women who are coming to us and they fit the low thyroid picture, and it just seems to be that when your estrogen starts to fall, it can have a knock-on effect on thyroid function. The problem is that a lot of women are just borderline, and it can be difficult to distinguish between thyroid and menopause. Now, the main low thyroid symptoms will be fatigue, it will be either sudden weight gain, or you find that you're really piling on the pounds and no matter what you do you can't shift the weight. It can be hair loss, you can get anxiety. That's a really big one in the thyroid problems. What to do here is just to make sure that you get diagnosed properly, is to ask for both a T3 and T4 test. These are much broader and take in a lot more into account than a basic T4 test, which very often comes back negative, even though you may well be borderline. Second problem is low vitamin D, and here in the UK we are probably facing a low vitamin D epidemic. We're not getting a lot of sunshine, we're not getting out into the sunshine, and when we go into the sunshine we're putting suntan cream on, and that's basically blocking the production of vitamin D. So with vitamin D you're possibly going to get the fatigue, you're going to get muscle, joint or bone aches. So it could be a combination of the three of these, or possibly even all of them. You're going to get low mood and anxiety, you're probably going to get a little bit of fatigue, and you may well get heavy periods. Really serious vitamin D deficiency can trigger heavy periods as well. So it's a good one if you're in that situation, just to ask for your vitamin D. Now, the one thing we do not want you to do is just go out and buy a vitamin D supplement and take it just in case. The reason being is there's been a lot of news and interest on vitamin D over the last few years, and you can now get really high supplements, as some women are taking very high doses on a daily basis without even knowing if they're really low in vitamin D. And what can happen then is that you can end up getting side effects from taking too high a dose of vitamin D. So if you think you're low, the best thing to do is ask to be tested first, and then you can take a supplement if you really need one. Now, the next one is high blood pressure, and we know that falling estrogen can trigger high blood pressure. Sometimes high blood pressure has no symptoms at all, so this is one that I would say maybe ask to get your tested every 6 months to a year. However, with high blood pressure, you can get anxiety, you